Hello, this is Unit S, Concept 3, which is using power reducing formulas, and this is problem number 6. So in this concept, our goal is to try to reduce the power. So we see here that we have sine to the fourth power of x times cosine squared of x. So we're going to try to simplify it so that we are left with the highest power. And the highest power is 1. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to break this sine of fourth to the x to sine squared of x times sine squared of x times cosine squared of x. And now by having everything squared, we can use our power reducing formulas, which are on the formula page, and which is all this box over here. And since we have sine and cosine in this problem, we will be using these two formulas. Okay, so all we're going to do is substitute it into the formula. So it would be 1 minus cosine of 2x all over 2 times 1 minus cosine of 2x all over 2 times 1 plus cosine of 2x all over 2. So what we're going to go ahead and do next is we're going to multiply these two together, and then we can use the box if it's easier. And then once we multiply together, we get 1 minus cosine squared of 2x all over 4. And then this, we just bring it down to it stays the same. So times 1 minus cosine of 2x all over 2. Okay. So before we move on, what we're going to try to do first is simplify this one, since we see that we have a squared. And then we're going to simplify it separately, and then we're going to substitute whatever we get all into this square. So the problem is 1 minus cosine squared of 2x all over 4. So we see here that we have another squared, which is here. So we're going to take that out and say cosine squared of 2x. And we're going to use a constant like we did in previous units, so we're going to use m. And in this case, m is going to be 2x. So we're going to substitute this for m. So it's going to be cosine squared of m. And then since we have a cosine squared, we're going to use again the formulas and plug it into here. So it's going to be 1 plus cosine of 2m all over 2. Now all we have to do is go back and substitute m. So m is 2x. So it would be 1 plus cosine of 2 times m, which is 2x, all over 2, which then equals 1 plus cosine of 4x all over 2. And all of this is this. So we have to plug in this box, substitute this box for this box. So it will be 1 minus this, so it's 1 plus cosine of 4x all over 2, which is then all over 4. So we're going to change this into 2 over 2 so we can combine it, and we get 1 minus cosine of 4x over 2 all over 4, and then times 1/4 to get rid of the denominator, times 1/4, and we get 1 minus cosine of 4x all over 8. And so that is a simplified version of this problem. So all of this is going to take the place of this. So we will then get 1 minus cosine of 2x over 2. We just brought this down. And again, instead of this box, we're going to replace it with this box. So it's going to be times 1 minus cosine of 4x all over 8. Okay, so the next step is just to simply multiply these two. So we're going to multiply the numerators together and the denominators together. So at the bottom, it's easy, we would just get 16. And then to multiply the top, if it's easier, we can use the box method. And when we do so, we should get 1 minus cosine of 4x minus cosine of 2x plus cosine of 2x times cosine of 4x. Okay. So now, how can we simplify this further? So we see here, we have cosine of 2x plus cosine of 4x. So we have cosine of 2x times cosine of 4x. And if we substitute this for u and v, it's cosine of u times cosine of v, and we have a product to sum formula. So we're going to be using this formula. So we're just going to write it down. So the formula is 1 over 2 times cosine of u minus v plus cosine of u plus v. And we're going to substitute u for 2x and v for 4x. And when doing so, when actually working out the problem, we get 1/2 times cosine of negative 2x plus cosine of 6x. Now in here, we can see that we can use the even-odd identity, and it's just that the cosine of negative u is just the cosine of u. So this is just technically the cosine of 2x. Plus the cosine of 6x. So we're actually going to multiply it out, and we can have 1/2 cosine of 2x plus 1/2 cosine of 6x. And all of this is going to replace this box. So we get 1 minus the cosine of 4x minus the cosine of 2x plus 1/2 of cosine of 2x plus 1/2 cosine of 6x. And then this is all over 16. And since we have a fraction in these two, we're going to make the whole numerator have a denominator of 2. So this would be 2 over 2, 2 over 2, 2 over 2, and so on. And in result, we would get the equation of 2 minus 2 cosine of 4x minus 2 cosine of 2x plus cosine of 2x plus cosine of 6x all over 2, which is an all over 16. So we're going to get rid of this denominator by multiplying by 1 over 16. And this cancels, and then the same thing by 1 over 16. And we get 2 minus 2 cosine of 4x minus 2 cosine of 2x plus cosine of 2x plus cosine of 6x all over 32. And just to write it in a more nicer way and in a product to sum formula case, we're just going to take out a 1 out of 32, and we're going to multiply this by the whole numerator. But before we do, we see that we can combine like terms. We have a minus 2x plus cosine of 2x. They're the same. They share the same variable, so it would just be minus cosine of 2x. So our final answer would be 1 over 32 times 2 minus 2 cosine of 4x minus cosine of 2x plus cosine of 6x. And that's our answer.